Hello again guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Comic Kid here again, and we have another action figure review for y'all today. Now I am super excited to cover this one. I've been wanting this figure for a long time, and that is the Mafex Batman Hush action figure, as y'all can obviously see here. Now, this figure was pretty hot as soon as he was announced, like, oh, Mafex is doing a comic-accurate Batman. And this line has already done pretty well for itself. To my knowledge, this is the only figure that's actually out at this time, and they are going all in on it. They've announced a Superman, a Catwoman, a Joker, a Hush himself, an alternate Batman even, and so it's insane how all in they're going on this story. Now, granted, Batman Hush is not only a popular and iconic storyline, but it also features an incredibly wide range of characters as well, and given that it's drawn by the insanely popular Jim Lee, it makes sense that Medicom and Mafex would want to pull from a very iconic storyline. So as y'all can see here, this is the first one from the line. It is the blue version. The black version of this Batman figure is set to come out next year. And he does come in a pretty standard Mafex packaging. You have your details and whatnot on the back here with only a few of the accessories. You don't see any of the extra hands and whatnot, but it also shows off some of the poses that the figure is capable of as well. Aside from that, there's really nothing too special about this box in particular. Like I said, standard Mafex box. So we'll go ahead, get him out. Y'all should be able to see him much better than with this plastic window here. And we'll have a look at him in all his glory. Alrighty guys, now as y'all can see, he's now out of the box with all of the accessories displayed in front of him and all that. Now to start with the accessories, essentially this figure comes with two of everything. As far as the hands go, you have a left and right of everything, so there should be absolutely no shortage of anything there. You have two kind of grapnel hooks that are expanded. You have one short one there, and then one incredibly long one. Now this thing actually has some weight to it, and you're gonna have a pretty hard time bending that. Like if I dropped that, I don't think it would break at all. That said, still don't try and bend it. It is a metal piece, it will bend, but you know, it just pops right into one of these holes here, and it literally just slides right in, and unless you're holding it directly upside down, that thing isn't gonna come out just based on the weight of the pole itself. He also comes with two different styles of batarangs. You have one that's a little more like crescent shaped, and a bit more of a traditional bat design for those. Now, he also comes with two alternate heads. Obviously, you have the Bruce Wayne one, and I really like that they included the additional neck there so that it doesn't just look like a blue fabric piece is riding up just under his jaw. But I actually really like how this head sculpt turns out. It feels very Batman Hush and just seems very Bruce Wayne in my opinion. And then of course you also have a scowling, sort of angry Batman head as well, which of course does not need that extra blue neck piece down there. Now to get into the figure himself, one of the more immediate things that you'll notice about him is he is very capey. This is probably the most capey Batman figure I have seen yet, and I own the Revoltech Batman figure as well, which I thought was the most capey figure Batman I had ever seen. Now, obviously what I mean by capey is that he is a lot of cape. Now there is wire located throughout this, and I know a lot of people have really liked it, But, you know, some people don't like a Batman that's too capey, others certainly do. Now, this figure has been out for a little bit, and I've actually seen people do some really cool things with this cape for this Batman figure, but personally I do think as though it could have been trimmed up just a little bit. Like, it's so much. But maybe I just need to play around with it myself, who knows. But now, because of the way Mafex decided to do this cape, you do have a kind of awkward, like, shoulder piece for the cowl there. And it's not a deal breaker for me by any means, but it's a little clunky in comparison to the rest of the figure. And speaking of the rest of the figure, I think this is one of the most beautifully designed Mafex pieces yet. All of the musculature of him just looks really solid. You can tuck the cape back there and see some more of the figure itself if you'd like, but he is incredibly well proportioned. Comes with all the same Mafex joints that we all know and love, and I just love this figure. Super excited to have him. Of course, and we'll start at the feet actually. You have toe joints, which I don't really care for one way or the other, y'all know that. You have a really solid ball ankle there, like that is a lot of range. Of course, you have double jointed knees, which offer some of the best range in action figures in my opinion, but they aren't called miracle action figures for nothing. That one actually kind of caught on the piece there, so I guess I would tell y'all to be mindful of that if you're gonna bend it too far. You have the great hip joints that actually kind of come down a little bit to give you that little extra oomph there, and then just kind of hide back up into themselves. The belt itself is loose, but it does feel like it's attached in the back, so if you do have him like really crunched over, it has some leeway, and if you have the legs really high up, you know, it has some room to wiggle. While he's bent over, there's the ab crunch there. That's about as far as he goes. Now this ab joint here is giving me a little bit of trouble. I don't know if that's the cape, or not the cape, but the belt. So that might be a bit of an issue, but the actual torso joint works really well. And then you have the butterfly shoulders, double jointed elbows, a ball joint wrist, and a pretty standard Mafex head that goes up, down, and so on. Now to get into the actual cape itself, you can kind of pose it to where it at least appears less capey, but you know, of course, if you want more cape, you certainly got it. It actually kind of folds into itself really strangely there, but I'll have to play around with the cape before I give you guys my final thoughts on it, because something this massive, I think that might be the only complaint that I have about this figure. And I really like Mafex. They've done wire capes before. The Ben Affleck Mafex that I have is perfectly fine. But yeah, that is about everything that I have for you guys today. Honestly, I could totally see this being my all-time favorite Batman figure if that cape were just a little bit better, or even if they came with like an alternate cape that wasn't so capey. It would be absolutely no question that this would be my favorite Batman figure. I am probably going to try and grab the black version as well. I believe it's set for April of 2021. I could be wrong there, but I absolutely love this figure. Mafex is easily one of my top toy makers, and so I am super excited to have this. I do want to shout out to my aunt who just beat cancer and managed to drive an hour away to go pick this up at a toy shop for me for my birthday. So on the off chance she's watching this, I hope she knows I appreciate her and love her to death. But that is everything that I have for y'all today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please feel free to click that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys again next week.